The hit TV series CSI made investigating a crime scene a ratings smash. But in Ohio, when you talk about CSI, you just may be talking about red tape versus crime tape. Only 2 News and Pam Elliott went on assignment to Columbus to see how your tax dollars help people serve the state with scissors.
If you think there are too many rules and regulations in Ohio hurting businesses and the state should be using more common sense, well, you might be able to find it at the top of this building. High atop the Rife Center, you can see a sunny day is in the forecast. But it's the business climate that brings these people to the 31st floor. Chances are you didn't even know they were meeting.
Questions, comments, concerns?
Mark Hamlin is the State Director of Regulatory Policy. He seeks common sense from these folks, like Lonnie Alonzo, who's in the pest control business.
Common sense to me is really something that just feels right, is normal in the decision-making process.
And this man, Dan Young, who you probably recognize from his years of serving dairy products from his farm and restaurant in Yellow Springs. As a business owner yourself, was there something that you ran into and you went, oh my gosh, what is this?
Yes. Certainly over the years, I certainly have run into things that I said it just doesn't make sense, but we got to do it anyway.
Alonzo and Young are 2 of 9 members appointed to the Common Sense Initiative, or CSI. Last year, Governor Kasich established the CSI office to make sure that regulations are in place to protect consumers and not hamper economic growth.
And there are so many things that have just piled up over the years that really, when they're stacked on top of each other, don't make common sense. And so we really want to try to wade through that, figure out what are the regulations we need, what protects the public, but what things can we get rid of.
The state says it costs about $500,000 a year to keep Common Sense running. That's staff and resources. But the dollars are meant to come from other areas of government that weren't working.
They know they've got to really think through the rules before they come to us.
In fact, at this meeting, council members were told that in the first half of this year, the number of rules and regulations agencies requested to be reviewed was 55% less than the previous 10-year average. And when agencies report to CSI about what makes sense to them, they send their heavy hitters to the table. Both the chairwoman of the Ohio Industrial Commission and the chairman of the Public Utilities Commission of Ohio showed up when we were there.
I think what's important is that the commission has tried to identify areas where there have been gaps, perhaps, where small businesses are not as adequately represented or have not been to the table.
So let me give you an example of what the Common Sense Initiative can do for people. In Franklin, Klosterman Bakery complained state pollution standards made it too costly to add a new production line. So, well, the company contacted CSI and the governor's office. Then they reached out to Ohio EPA, which met with Klosterman. And the result was an emissions compliance plan that was effective and affordable.
All right, so who determined that these people had enough common sense to serve?
Well, it's an interesting makeup of this council. 9 members. You have 5 brought by the lieutenant governor. She had applications and interviews and that type of thing. Then you have the state senate president, pick 2. The House speaker, pick 2. They represent different areas of the state, and they give of their own time. And if you want to attend the next CSI meeting, it is October 11th.
All right, the new CSI stars right here in Ohio.
There you go. We'll keep you posted on how well they are doing.